All right, everybody. So I'm going to show you how we're going to use Jira first. Well, first things first, you need to log in. So once you've logged into Jira, it's going to look something like this. You might not have as much stuff in the For You section, but this sidebar is going to look something like this on the left side. Okay. First place we're going to go to is we're going to go to Spaces. Spaces is what Jira calls projects. Okay, so this is really, think of Spaces, that's just projects, and we're going to click on that, so it's going to open it up. What it did the first time that I opened this up was it opened up facility support. So if there's this long list of stuff right here, you can just click on facility support and it will close it. The first tab we're going to be looking at, or the first space that we're going to be looking at, is tasks. So that's going to be assigning one-off tasks that are not inside of a project. Something that would be inside of a project would be anything, for example, for the pickleball tournament, July 25th, 26th project. So anything related to that would go inside of that project. But if there's a one-off, Laura needs me to order a sign for above the tennis poster board, then that would go in the tasks section. If it is not showing up under here, which is the recent tabs, you can click more spaces, right? Which again, spaces are projects. So you could just click more spaces and just look down here, and it's going to be, as long as you're on the task or you're on the space, right? So you were included, you're on the team that's on the space, or your name's included on it, it's going to be there. If you don't see it anywhere here, then you probably need to be added to the space. So I'm going to click on tasks, and what we see is we have 4 categories. So we have to do, in progress, check required, and done. Right? If I wanted to create a task, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it in the to-do section, which might make more sense to say if I assign this to Laura, or Laura assigns it to me, or somebody assigns me a task. So buy sign for above tennis poster board. Okay, so that's the task, and actually I kind of jumped the gun on it. I'm going to assign it. Let me assign it right here. Okay, and then I can click on it, and since I forgot to assign the due date, I can also assign the due date right here. So I'm going to say it's due on Wednesday. All right, you can select the priority. That's not as important for the moment. You can also select the start date if it wasn't going to start before a certain date, or you didn't want it to. But the main thing is the due date and assigning who it is. The reporter is whoever assigned the task. So in this case, I assigned the task and I assigned it to myself. So I'm both the reporter and I'm the assignee. Okay, so the assignee, the one doing the task. If I needed to add a description, like sign must be 36 inches long and 6 inches wide, right? So I could say, if I have any description for it. If there were subtasks, although I think this is more applicable to projects, right? Like a little task inside of a bigger task. Or if I or somebody else wanted to add comments about it, I could comment on it, or I could mention someone's name, right? So I could mention, if Laura assigned me the task and I wanted to ask her a question, I could do that through this comment section right here. Okay, delete that because I don't want to. All right, so I just exit out. You can also minimize it and it will go on the side right here. So if you wanted it to be on the side, you could do that. And from there, if I want to move it along, so say that now that it's going to be in progress. So now I am working on it. I'm going to select the 3 dots on this, and I'm going to move it to the next phase, which is in progress. I'm going to go to in progress. Okay. And then if it was something that required a check, like if it was, I don't know, a sign or something I wanted someone to check, I could move it to check required. And then when it's done, I can just move it to done. Okay. Once it's done, then you're all good. It should notify the person. We can archive this message in 90 days just to keep this clutter free. But that's simply it. You can look at it under a different view as well. So there's all these views up here, right? I'm going to move it back. To do. I could look at it in a calendar view, right? So I could look at could look at, oh, I have this due on Wednesday. I can look at it in a list view, right? So I can see the priority. I can see when it was created, updated, due date. All right, so right now I think board is going to be the one that I'm going to end up using this board view, because it's you can very much see it, but you just move it along and that's it. And that's how you assign a one-off task that's outside of a project. That's all, folks.